Yeah. At the Ann Arbor Library, do you know you can check out theremins?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's insane to me. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, they have the whole synthesizer thing where you can like check out synthesizers and stuff, and
Yep.
yeah, it's
Yep.
it's crazy.
Yep. Yep. And the second question, I think you already answered too, but I'll just let you add anything if you want.
Sure.
So your summation was perfect for both. But where do you hope to see music education in 10 years?
Whew. Um, I really would like to see more music teachers embrace more world music and diversify, because it's not just because of like a sociological reason, although that's a perfectly good reason to do it, but also because I feel like a lot of the concepts you can learn in different styles of music are kind of side doors into learning concepts that you would use in Western, traditional kind of music. Like one of the things that I tried to do was I tried to use counting from classical Indian classical music to try and get kids to understand the idea of rhythm and the connection between rhythmic patterns and words,
Yep.
to kind of bust them out of the whole like this is a quarter note and a quarter note is one beat, like this sort of representational
Right.
method of saying rhythms, just to kind of give them another way of approaching it, because I don't know if that's ever happened for you where like something's presented one way and you're like I don't get this, and then you see it in some other framework or some other sort of facet, and then you go oh I
Yeah.
get it now, so oops.
Oh, you're back. You're back. It's
Are you still recording or do you need
yeah,
to?
it's still. Yep.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
this happened with Colin too.
But yeah, what was they saying? I think that it provides you opportunities to learn things that you would need to learn to be successful in band or choir or songwriter or whatever, but just learn it in a different facets that might make it click a little better. Plus, it's cool and it's really interesting.
Yep. Yep. And especially if you have a diverse classroom, and
Yeah.
even if you don't too. But yeah, today I tried to get an hour. I'm trying an hour a day for the next few weeks to practice. And it'd be in Hindustani classical music. It's just when they do it trades back and forth, and they keep
Mhm.
reducing the amount of the time. So it's four beats, then three beats, two, two, one, and it goes down to half, and
Huh.
then they finish together, do a phrase, and then end on the one.
Huh.
So to get that, like I'm trying to get it where I can do it without thinking
It's
about it.
like it's like a blues,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
trading in a blues. Yeah, and it's crazy that like you kind of bringing it around again. If I had never been in percussion ensemble in my undergrad, I would have never even known that there was such a thing as like the Indian classical, ta din takadi ta,
Yep.
that like I would have never even known about it unless except for the fact that we had done a piece in percussion ensemble that
Right.
used that, and I had to learn the whole,
Yep.
the what it was, a tala, I think.
Yeah.
Is that
Yep.
what it's
Yep.
called?
Yep.
I had to learn the whole thing, by rote so that I could play it with the percussion ensemble.
Yep. And another thing too, if you're just trying to make a living, I mean, the more things you can play, you
Yep.
can, even if you're not a master at it, you can sub sometime just for things.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yep. So this,
One of-
yeah, go
oh,
ahead.
go ahead.
You go
And
ahead.
I was just going to say that my one of my tuba teachers, Marty Erickson, always called it the School of Hire, as an HIRE education.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. That's good. So I'm very interested in this because I've been a musician all my life, but one of my second loves, another performing art, that's much more stripped down, is the stand-up comedy.
Oh yeah.
And I have a lot of friends who are very into it, but you're one of the only ones who's actually like put your foot in that world and then kept walking. So
Yeah, yeah.
I'm curious, and also theater too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it's all theater and acting and stuff. So yeah.
I'm just curious, like how both of those experiences were, because you probably were just stepping out into something you don't know,
Yeah.
and just going for it.
Yeah, that's kind of it. I mean, as far as stand up, I mean, I've been thinking about it for years, probably a decade or more. I don't. It might just be like a middle aged white guy thing. I don't know, but because there are a lot of us.
Yeah,
I'm just
yeah.
saying. But yeah, I've been thinking about it for probably 10 years, maybe more, because I've always loved stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
And I had a weekend where I didn't have my kids, and I didn't have a gig, which was unusual at the time. And I was trying to find something to do, and I'm like, oh, I should go see some stand-up. So I happened to go to the Mark Ridley's Comedy Castle website just to see if there was a show that night, and there wasn't, unfortunately. But I happened to notice up in the corner of the screen, there's like a little thing for, if for classes, stand-up classes.
Huh.
And one of the things that had held me back from going to an open mic and doing it is I had no reference of like how to do that.
Right.
No idea how to do stand up. Like, and I'm like, I'm gonna go up there and I'm gonna yak for 5 minutes and I'm gonna be terrible and people are gonna boo me and it's gonna be like I had this. First of all, I was assuming that people came to open mics, which they don't. So if you're worried about that, not so much. Don't worry about
Okay.
that. But
Yeah.
but yeah, so I kind of saw it as this opportunity of like, okay, well, it's affordable. It was like $175 for a 6 week or 8 week class or something like that. And I'm like, so it's affordable to me right now, and it's almost Christmas. And if anybody's going to buy me a good Christmas present, it's going to be me. And there was a show at the end that once you build up your set, you go do the showcase. And I figured, okay, I'm going to do the class, I'm going to do the showcase, and if it's awful and terrible and I hate it, I just never have to do it again, and I can check the box and I'm done. But I might like it, who knows? So I took the class, and I think there were like 20 of us or 22 or something in that class, and I loved it. I mean, I happened to have a really good class because most of the people that I was in that class are still doing stand up today.
Yeah.
And that's not normal. Like
Yeah.
usually maybe one or two keep going and the rest of them drop off because they did it and it's over now. But I think out of my class of 22, like 18 or 19 of them are still out there now punching it out,
Yep.
doing stand up. And yeah, it's a blast. I did it because I'd gotten to a point where I'd been playing in bands for 25 years at that point, maybe more. And a lot of club gigs and weddings and stuff like that. I've been playing brick house for 20 years,
Yes.
right? And like there just comes to a point where I'm like, it's just not exciting anymore. Where I don't get that like butterflies in the stomach, like, oh, I don't know,
Yep.
kind of feeling that I missed. And I get that all the time doing stand up, where like right before you go up, there's that this could go real bad
Yes.
feeling. And it's scary and it's fun. It's kind of like my equivalent of skydiving, I guess, which is what like other middle-aged people do to get a thrill.
Yeah.
I guess I don't know.
And